Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Yes Have Some Podcast. Our guest on this wonderful Christmas day. I mean, it's going to be Christmas
It will
Day.
be Christmas when you're watching this.
Yeah, it is Christmas Day. Star of Ghostbusters Afterlife and basically a million other things, McKenna Grace. McKenna, thank you so much for joining us.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. Also, I'm so sorry. I think that my Wi-Fi might be a little spotty, but let's hope
You're
not.
good. I mean, welcome
used to it.
to our world. The
Yeah.
fact that we even got this far is kind of a miracle.
Doing great.
Look at us go.
Look at us. Look how good we're
Seriously,
doing. This is
We're doing well.
terrific.
So far, so good.
First off,
Yeah.
Oh,
I say we call it now.
we've done great. You can go out and Christmas shop.
Yeah.
now, McKenna.
Yeah. McKenna.
yeah, honestly, I'm good.
Good. McKenna, we had the chance to meet you briefly at the Ghostbusters Spirits Unleashed release party. That was fun. Are you like a video game person?
I'm a big video game person. Yeah, I think
good.
bad example. I was up until like 4 a.m. last night. It was not good, but yeah, I'm a big video game player.
What were you playing?
I'm a big Minecrafter. I'm a big
cool.
Minecrafter. That's my jam. I
That's
gotta
cool.
say, but I can totally whoop in some Mortal Kombat.
Oh, nice.
okay.
Wow.
Jake and I play each other in
Put
that.
a tournament together, yeah.
Yeah, maybe we should have a more. Who do you have a character like specifically that you go to in Mortal Kombat?
There's like that one lady who's like a bee. She's like a bee lady.
Yeah.
And she's like really funky. She'll like come after you and like bees will like, I don't know. She's like crazy. And then there's like a spider one. I don't know. I like those guys. I think they're crazy.
Oh, that must be like
Nice.
the new Mortal Kombat. I'm like stuck on the one from like '96. I only know like 3 of the characters.
It's like it's Scorpion or Sub-Zero. And
Yeah. There's only 2 I know.
Right. Right.
Well, McKenna, you've had this incredibly busy year. You're releasing music, you're in movies, you're in television. Coming at the end of 2022, going into 2023, like career-wise, are you feeling pretty good? Like, did you accomplish all of, like, if you go back to that goal list that you wrote on January 1st? I do that. I don't know if you do that. Did you hit all the goals? Did you knock it out of the park? Are you feeling pretty good?
Like it's been a really busy year. It's been a really crazy year. It's like I'm excited to finally I have my EP like finished and
Nice.
I know when I'm releasing it. I'm going to announce that soon, I hope, but like it's funny because I wrote it all like a year or 2 ago and now I'm finally releasing it. So it's all these like emotions and songs that I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't feel that way anymore. And now I'm starting on like an album. I've been starting like writing for it. And I'm like, wow, this is like the best music I've ever made. And I can't wait to release it. So that's going to be on my next year list. But I mean,
That's
I
exciting.
feel like this year I've done a lot, but it's been a rough year. It's been crazy, but I'm happy to have checked spine surgery off my list. I feel like that's something that's been on the list for the past like few years. So I'm glad to have gotten that off and then finishing up the EP. That's good. Yeah, I'd say that I've gotten done
You
with
did
some
it.
of my goals.
I mean,
Yeah.
I've done it.
you were, it was so cool. For our listeners and viewers who don't know, you kind of opened up to the world in like a really vulnerable way a couple weeks ago about your surgery and what that was and how long you've actually been suffering. And as Ghostbusters fans, our first thought was, oh no, you were wearing
Did
that.
we do this?
Yeah,
Right.
was this our fault?
Yeah.
Wearing a 50-pound proton pack, like.
No, it's so fun. It's funny because now I told Jason and I was like, yeah, whenever we were shooting, I had a back brace that I would go to bed in. Like I had a back brace that I had to like, it was like a freaking plastic corset that I had to like strap
my
myself
God.
into before I went to bed. And he was like, what? Why didn't you tell me? I would have like written it into Phoebe. And I'm like, oh
Yeah.
my God, that would be so good. I would have loved that.
Yeah.
Right. You could have had
But-
Finn wear the pack. It's that like you're lugging. I mean, you filmed the Afterlife was filmed in 2019, so like that was basically a lifetime ago. But like you guys, we've been, we do Ghostbuster stuff. We know how heavy those things are, and like seeing you at whatever 12 or 13 years old, like lug around
Mhm.
the pack.
So much respect,
So much
honestly,
respect.
especially with like an invisible pain like that. Like, that's just really awesome that you were able to like get through it. Like, I'm inspired personally, and I was like, she's tough.
Yeah.
Like,
It wasn't too bad. It was so fun though. Like, that was my dream come true. So I
Right.
was like, look, I mean, whenever I did the chemistry reads for Afterlife, like they had a proton pack and it was with Ivan and Jason, and there was a proton pack there that I had to put on and pretend to like ghost bust, and it was like bad because we know Phoebe, you know, she's very like and here she's just very like keeping herself in check. I don't think that Phoebe like presents a lot of emotions forward,
Right,
and I
right.
do. I'm a very excited person, so it took like everything in me like not to start like crying because I'm
Right.
standing there like presenting my like ghost busting skills to the Reitmans, and so I was freaking out. But
That sounds terrifying, honestly.
Yeah.
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 McKenna, can you try it again without smiling, please?
Yeah.
exactly. That was
so
a lot.
fun.
That was honestly a lot of onset. Was like, McKenna, okay, you gotta like chill out now and get back
Yeah.
into Phoebe.
Well, it's so-
24/7 now, jumping
It's
around.
funny. There's like all these behind the scenes clips of, you know, you on set and their stuff and the special features, and like you and Logan, you know, we've gotten to know Logan and his family a lot over the last couple of years, or last year or so, and you guys have this great bond and this great chemistry. But like literally, like what I'm saying is, if you look at behind the scenes of the original Ghostbusters, there's not a lot of videos of like Bill Murray and Dan Aykroyd like locking arms and like marching around the set singing songs together. Although
Yeah.
I'd like to see that.
I
Like,
wish there was.
I wish that did
Yeah.
Would have
exist.
loved to see that.
But it seemed like you guys like really became good friends, and like your chemistry on screen like is one of the number one things that stands out about Afterlife is that. So like as an actor, listen, I don't want to say we're actors because we're not, so I won't. But I understand that you know, having chemistry with somebody on screen, and it's, even if it's not there, you kind of have to fake your way through it and act your way through it. But like it kind of seems like you guys had like an actual bond that really lent itself to the movie.
Yeah, no, I actually cannot stand him. Like
Oh,
I just
right.
oh, he's just like, come on. I love him. I love Logan. It's fun. We still like talk often. I mean, he comes and visits me in LA and stuff. And
Yeah,
like,
he's great. He's
I
great.
love Logan. It was so much fun. And I always make fun of him because I am a very precocious person, but I was a very precocious 13-year-old on that set, and it was so funny. I always make fun of it. I'm like, you totally hated me while we were shooting. He's like, I didn't hate you, but it's so funny. I love Logan. I think that he's great. He's so funny. Yeah, and I love looking back every single day on set. We shot for about 3 months in Calgary, Canada, and every day on set we had a handshake and we'd add something onto it every single day for 3 months.
Oh my
So
god.
by the end, it was like a full performance, and it was crazy. And every time we see each other now, we always try to remember it, and we get about like halfway through, which is still very impressive.
That's really good.
And we do that, and we also decided there's not even a world record for this, and we never even talked about it after shooting, but we would sing All-Star every day.
Oh, nice.
All-Star.
Smash Mouth.
Oh, nice.
Smash
Okay.
Mouth.
Hey now,
All-Star.
you're an all-star.
Oh, yeah, that one. Okay.
Exactly. I feel like
knew that.
everyone
Yeah.
on that set has trauma from that song.
Oh
Because
my,
of us.
yeah. It's traumatizing.
But we were
Well-
like, you know, like we're gonna be the people to sing it the most times consecutively, like days in a row.
Oh,
It was-
boy.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Aim
Hey,
for the stars, guys.
Hey,
Yeah.
we had ambitions.
Right.
That's
I'm
really
inspired.
but you didn't have to live through that song when it was like an actual thing. Like I remember the
I
summer of
remember
'98.
like taking the bus to church camp and singing that at like full blast.
That
Annoying some
is
people.
very. I mean, since Shrek, that's
Yeah.
Since
that's
Shrek.
a thing,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
100%.
man. So, you know, I do want to talk about Ghostbusters a little bit,
Mhm.
or a lot.
No, not at all.
Yeah, no.
I'm not,
But like, you know, you mentioned like writing music, and when you know, we're musicians, and we've played in bands and stuff like that. And one thing about like writing music is like as soon as you write it and then you work on it and then you release it, and then when it's out, you're already working on, like, kind of like you just said, you're already working on something
your
new.
emotions, you've moved on and evolved a little bit.
Right. So, but from like a movie making perspective, it was so unique with all the delays and COVID and pandemic and everything. Like, by time Afterlife came out, I mean, the difference of being, you know, a 12-year-old and a 15-year-old or whatever it is, like, it's like a huge difference. Like, you're kind of a completely different person. So was it weird? Was it like watching old home videos or something when you finally got to see it?
No, it's like I remember so much of shooting, but then I look back and I'm like, I did not remember a lot of these scenes. Like, I was like, I don't remember shooting this. Like, I didn't remember this plot point, and oh, they took this plot point out, and like, because there was a whole major like plot point that was removed from the film that we like shot back in 2019, and I was like, whoa, this is like different, and it was so, I mean, it was weird to see. I mean, even just me from 13 to 14 was completely different. But then now, like, being 16 and looking back, I'm like, whoa, it's just crazy. It was really weird finally getting to see it and then getting to see everyone again. And it's just wonky. Our time frame has been so wonky for these films because of the pandemic.
It was crazy. I mean, we you know, we were at New York Comic Con for that screening, and it was such a, like, for us, like, we've been literally waiting for this movie since, like, I tell this story, every Ghostbusters person that comes on the podcast is like, here comes Craig's big story about when he saw Ghostbusters 2.
They've all heard it.
They've all heard
You
it.
got a computer, you typed in Ghostbusters 3.
No, listen. I saw Ghostbusters 2 in theaters in 1989. I was 5 years old, and I've been waiting since then for that night at New York Comic Con. So kind of a long wait, kind of like 33 years. So first of all, just thank you for being like literally the major component to really do something with Ghostbusters that we never really thought we would see. Like, this is a movie that none of us could have imagined, the story that was told. I mean, carrying on, like, we are such huge Harold Ramis like fanatics and like Egon Spengler fanatics. So carry on that Spengler legacy, and now you're about to do it again. Like, what's that going to be? How do you play Phoebe now? Like, because even more time has passed. Have you started like thinking about that?
I have no clue.
I think that's Jason Reitman's responsibility to write that.
It's Gil's responsibility.
Oh, actually, it's Gil's.
Yeah, no, it's funny.
I love that. I haven't even started thinking about it. That's great.
I know, it's so difficult. I always have to preface anything that I talk about with Ghostbusters is like, I'm not confirming, I'm not denying, I'm not saying anything, but I just can't imagine, like, that's just, I feel like whether or not I do or don't, it would be weird to get back into Phoebe now, you know?
Right.
It's been so long, and Logan and I were talking about it actually, and we were like, I feel like you should just come up to LA and we'll watch the film like a couple times. And then,
get back into
and then
it.
find the old script and like go over it together or something, you know?
It's like a football team. You got to watch the film. You got to
play back the tape.
Yeah, play back that tape.
I mean,
good sports reference.
Logan too. He's so different now than whenever podcast was so like energetic and up, and like now he's just like a chill, you know, like
chill dude, cool guy,
chill bro,
chill dude. And I'm like, it's just funny. I can't imagine him going back to that character either. Which, you know, like it'll be so. I feel like it'll be so interesting. Just like exploring that.
Yeah.
Have you done that before? Have you ever reprised a character before? Like done a sequel or anything like that? I mean, I know you've played recurring roles like on TV shows, but this is like
I've ever done a sequel. That's so weird.
Breaking news from Yes Have Some podcast.
That's another check off the list.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, like I've played the same character in a show for years, you know, which is interesting. But I feel like with that, it's just you're constantly shooting a TV show, and it's just one very long story.
Right.
But then with a sequel to a film, like that's so different. I think that. Yeah, I've never done that.
I love this. This is so fun. So we haven't thought about how we're going to do it, and it's your first. This is we're making some headlines here. I like this. No, I'm just kidding. We're super excited. I know, like, there's not much to say about the new one. We know that it's gonna happen, and we're nothing but excited about it. So
Yeah, I'm so excited.
yeah. How has your time? So like, once you like finally like New York Comic Con happens, and you know the premiere happens, and you're starting to interact with like the hardcore fans a little bit, like.
You're asking the question I was thinking about. Were you warned about us? Is that the kind of thing?
Like
well, it's because like you think about like Star Wars, and you know I know Star Wars is a different thing, but like Ghostbusters has a following like Star Wars or the Marvel movies or whatever. But it's like not all movies are like that. So somebody had to tell you like, okay, McKenna, these people are a little crazy.
I mean, it's just is surreal because, you know, I feel like everybody, whenever they join like a franchise or something, they're like, yeah, I was the biggest fan, or like, you know, I grew up watching it, but I really I did like, this was my like childhood was Ghostbusters. I was Venkman for Halloween in 2017. Whenever I was younger, that would have been so cool if I would have been Spangler though. That would have been some crazy foreshadowing.
Right.
Like whenever I was younger, so I've always had strange taste in stuffed animals. Like I have this styrofoam rat and like this skeleton cat Halloween decoration. So I've always had strange taste in stuffed animals. But whenever I was younger, I used to have like this plastic Slimer that was a bath toy, but I carried him around with me everywhere, you know?
I can relate to this.
It's been like my childhood. So it's weird as an actress to go out for things that like you grew up watching, or something, or a book series that you're a fan of, or like a film's sequel that you like grown up watching, but then it's completely different actually getting it, and then all of a sudden you're a part of something that I think my mom went back in her old Facebook quotes, and from like 10 years ago, it was like, today McKenna told me, you know, whenever she's older that she's going to be really busy because she's going to be a Ghostbuster. And I somehow managed to make that happen.
Yeah.
Hey, I told my mom that. How come I'm a podcaster? How come I'm a
You are a Ghostbuster.
Yeah.
We're all Ghostbusters.
Okay,
yes,
thank you.
we can all do it.
Also,
that's crazy though that you were like almost that feeling of destiny and being brought into it, like because you fit so well in the role, and like I was so excited when I saw that you were cast, and I really loved you in Troop Zero. That's like my favorite thing that you've done. So just seeing you as like no, I just had to throw it in there, dude. I need to let the guys
talk about that on the Troop Zero podcast.
No, I just think I think you're just really awesome in the way that you're like, you see kind of the unseen, and you really represent that kind of introverted demographic with Phoebe. And I really love that. I love what you did to the character and what you brought to the movie.
I mean, I thought that it was so, I mean, going back to the fan base, it's insane it's just surreal to be a part of something that I'm such a big fan of, but then like talk to people about it and they're like, yeah, I loved the film that you were in. And I'm like, I also loved it. Like I loved it too. Right. And it is the coolest thing to not just like, I've joined like a Ghostbusters family almost, but then I am like a part of this fan base. So it's the coolest thing in the world for me to get to go to Comic-Cons and get to see everybody dressed up as Ghostbusters. And now that I'm like an honorary Ghostbuster and like all of these Ghostbusters clothes and Gizmo's little suit and like these little things, and it's like the coolest thing ever to me. I have all of my Ghostbusters things in my other room, and I just have them all like set up. And I brought out Slimer for the podcast.
That's the first thing I saw, that plush Slimer.
That out. And also,
thank you. I'm a plush collector myself. So
yeah, I mean, we're all toy collectors, and like, so what was it like? You got a Funko Pop, you got an action figure. You've got the 2-pack. It's you and Egon. Like that's insane. That's better than being in the movie.
I remember talking to Finn about it because, you know, he's cool. He's like Stranger Things guy. And so I was like, what's it like being a Funko Pop? Like, what's it like being an action figure and stuff? Like, that must be cool. And then we got our own. And that was what? Like, that's so... weird. It is. My cousin texted me the other day, and she was like, "Did you know you're on a Clue game?" And I was like, "I did." How insane is that? Like, it's
we own it. Yeah,
that artwork's really cool.
It is.
I have
it. It's
the coolest thing. Last time Logan came and visited, I made him, because he's like right front and center, like on the box too, and I made him like pose with it, and I like took a picture of him. It's like it's the weirdest thing. I geek out anytime I see something. It's just so weird to me. I don't know how.
How did this happen?
Like,
how did this happen?
Cool around this type of stuff. Like, how are Marvel actors and like even anyone else in this Ghostbusters film, like, how do they keep their cool whenever they're talking about it? Because to me, it's like the cool. Like,
I wonder that every time. Why does everybody act like they don't care? There's a toy of you in the store.
I'm sitting here and I'm like, I feel like I need to look professional and talk like I'm like this, I'm all mature and I'm this professional actress and stuff. But it's just so cool, and I love to be able to.
We could do that. We could do like inside the actor's studio, like, McKenna, your first scene with Muncher. He is a Juilliard trained spectral ghost. Were you intimidated by his acting prowess? I'm yelling, what do you do? What do you do?
It's like, what do you? It's the coolest thing in the world. Like, I love.
Muncher, we've had Muncher on the pod. And
Muncher was great.
No, we have not. No, we've not had Josh.
That was great.
No,
Muncher
we haven't.
said great things about you.
Yes. No, we've been so lucky. We've gotten to talk to Jason and Logan, and a lot of the we talked with Francois Adouar and lots of people that have worked on the film, and like there is this common ground of basically everyone just had this passion for the franchise, and like it is so cool that like you were really into it, and you got, because that is the dream. Like I was gonna actually ask you that, like besides Ghostbusters, do you have any like other fandoms or like movies that are like your, like, do you have like you're homesick, what is the first movie you're putting on? Like what is your go-to?
Oh, I feel like if I'm sick, whenever I was younger, it was always like the Tinkerbell movies, and now it's like my go-to classic like watch whenever I'm bored that I watch over and over again is like Step Brothers.
Oh yeah.
I watched that for the first time on Ghostbusters. We had a little Step Brothers watch party. Me, Celeste, Finn, and Logan all watched Ghostbusters and played.
I feel like you guys were a little young to be watching. Some of you were a little young to be watching that at that time.
We were like 13, 14. It was.
No, you're fine.
You're fine. Step Brothers.
But it's funny you say
I love
that
movie.
This is kind of a fun. Like my parents showed me everything. Like, and it's probably why we like Ghostbusters. And like literally, I was watching Stripes at 5 years old, right? Not a movie a 5-year-old probably should be watching, but no, it's not. But obviously Bill and Harold, and directed by Ivan Reitman. And the first time I ever got to meet Ivan, I told him, I said, hey, like you have been a part of my life, like this whole time. So thank you. And he's kind of like, yeah, whatever. Yeah. It's fine. But it is cool. Like, like, you get to watch something like Step Brothers and like that makes like a comedic impression on you, and then you'll take that into your career and like, do you like doing comedy? Is it fun for you? Do you enjoy that? Is it harder than doing dramatic roles?
Whenever I look back at my career, at least recently, I'm like, have I really ever done a true comedy?
Yeah.
I
mean, you're very you're funny. Like you have some of the best lines in Afterlife, but like,
hey.
You do.
It's true. You wrote and we heard.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. As I feel like I'm a funny person.
You're funny.
But like, I don't know.
You need to get a comedy.
The extent that my like comedy goes is that I am good at telling the dad jokes. So Phoebe was perfect for me. I still am, but I was a pretty very awkward adolescent child. And
we all are.
I was homeschooled. I feel you.
Yeah.
I was homeschooled. I'm a little sheltered homeschool girl, and I work with adults a lot. And so I didn't really know how to socialize a lot. So I would buy joke books as an attempt to try and connect and be funny. And
that's the sweetest thing I've ever heard.
It's really nice.
I would, I wanted to be funny, and so I would actually walk around. It's a little embarrassing, but you know what? Whatever it takes. But I would walk around and keep a joke book in my purse or my backpack wherever I went.
Go grab it. We'll wait.
That's awesome.
Yeah, let's hear these jokes.
I feel like they're probably in a closet or in my room somewhere. I haven't touched them in a while. I'm like, maybe that's why I don't have friends right now, because I stopped reading my joke books.
It's a critical part.
Then I happen to get
why don't I have friends? Because I'm about the joke books. Actually, all of my friends are kind of sick of me trying to tell jokes all the time.
Yeah.
It's true. We are sick of it. But McKenna, you should release a book of jokes. I think that'd be awesome.
Maybe I should.
It's your next.
Wait
I'll
a minute.
release a Phoebe Spangler's book of jokes.
That's a good idea.
That's a great idea.
Yes,
let's talk to somebody.
And it'll only be the ones that I said in Ghostbusters, but the ones that like they cut out that I didn't use.
How good? No, listen.
100%.
Get Eric on the phone. Get Ghostcore on the phone.
I know that he's a little busy right now.
Phoebe Spangler's joke book. This is such a good, like,
gold.
Oh, no, this is gold. Yes.
Honestly, Benjamin's gonna be mad that we thought of this.
Yes.
We'll do an audio. You can do an audio version.
What else can we pitch right now?
Honestly, like,
this is great. So McKenna, back to your music real quick. Are you going? I know you had like your first like live performance on, what was it, like Good Morning?
The Today Show.
That song rules.
Yeah, great song.
Yes.
Which one? Self-Dysmorphia.
Self-Dysmorphia.
It's awesome.
Loved it. Yeah.
And obviously Haunted House was like bringing adult men and women and people to tears. I love that you got that on the soundtrack. That's such another baller move. That's fantastic.
That was insane. That was crazy, and like came out of nowhere. I just was asking Jason if maybe he would want to direct a music video, and then he was like, "Hey, can I put this in the? It's fine. Like, you don't have to say yes, but if you wanted me to, like, I kind of want to put this in the credits." And I was like,
"What exactly?
Yeah,
I mean."
Love that.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd be cool with it. Like, acting as if I wouldn't be okay with it. Come on, Jason.
I'll think about it.
That's like the coolest. Yeah.
But when we heard,
I'll put a pin in it.
When we heard when we heard the song, I remember specifically, like, the movie had ended. We were near Comic-Con, and I remember noting, I was like,
I'm gonna look this up.
I like this song. I don't know who this is. I'm trying to catch my breath here. Just saw the movie, but then we were told after it was you. We were like, oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
But anyways. Are you going to tour? Are you going to get a chance to tour? Are you going to perform live? Like,
I don't know. I think I would love to. I think that'd be insane to be able to play live. I am like an actor with stage fright, which is really funny. I'm like, because I've only presented a couple of awards, so that's the only times I've really been on a stage. And I gave an acceptance speech once, and I got really scared. And then I saw Taika Waititi in the crowd, and I was like, "Oh my god, I love you!" And then I left. Like, I didn't know.
Oh my god, mic drop.
I have no cool whenever it comes to these things. It's so bad. I'm just excited to be in this industry. I'm just excited to be here, you guys. But
we appreciate that. Now, I mean, so I love that you are like, you come off as very genuine, right? And I think that's always the thing with like Hollywood actors. Like, it's kind of what you were just saying earlier. Like, how do they do, like, if you're like in Star Wars and you're being interviewed about being in Star Wars and you're sitting with the Millennium Falcon behind you, like, how do you,
like, how do you have chill if you're holding a lightsaber?
Yeah. I don't even have chill when I'm holding a lightsaber like in my living room.
No, exactly. Zero. Yeah, I'm going hard.
Exactly.
So
it's refreshing. I think that's what we're saying. That you've got that exuberance and excitement. Yeah, it's magnetic.
Thank you. I try. I think that the day that, because I truly love what I do so much, and I think the day that I don't have that like excitement about what I do anymore, and then it's like I could never imagine. I feel like, well, I don't know. I feel like then it's like you lose your passion for it, and so I think that it's so, because to me, I think that what I get to do is like, it's just my dream job. So it's exciting to be excited about, like, getting to go to work. And I just continue to carry that excitement throughout my career. And I love getting like hyped up about films and getting hyped up to work with people. I'm such a fangirl. Like, it's so bad. I work with people, and every day I'm like, hey, I'm like really excited to be working with you right now.
Yes.
I don't know if I told you this every single day for the past 3 months, but I'm like a massive fan of your work.
How come you guys never say that to me? I would love to hear that.
We're part of your work.
I know. I would like for you to tell me how excited it is to be around me.
Okay, awesome, I'm excited to be around you right now.
I got the
thank you.
Thank you. You mentioned, you grew up this huge Ghostbusters fan. When you finally are on set with the original guys, Bill and Dan and Ernie, what is like? So you're talking about how you react when you're around like your peers who you're a fan of, like, oh, Taika Waititi's in the crowd. I can't believe it. But it's like of course he's great, but like this is Bill Murray and Dan Aykroyd,
Hollywood like legends,
royals.
Yeah.
How do you deal with that?
It's weird to be around people that have created history,
right?
That are, and as someone who is such a big film fanatic and such a big acting buff, it's just weird to realize that you're not only around these people that have really created some of the stepping stones for what you do, but then also you're acting alongside them. And I feel like I've always had an appreciation for my craft and always been excited to be on set. But as I've gotten older and gotten more of an understanding of, because, I've always put so much hard work and heart into my work, but now I really have more of an understanding of what I do. And I'm trying to figure out like methods of acting and what goes on behind the camera and producing and directing. And I think that there's so many wonderful elements to it. But now looking back, I can really appreciate the fact that I got to act alongside them. I think about it and it freaks me out. And I feel like I probably cried whenever I was on set, because I cried so much on that set, because every day I'd wake up and I'd be like, I can't believe that I'm here right now. And everybody would be like, oh gosh, here McKenna goes again. But
you're just walking past, you're over there, you're in Crafty and you're like, hey, I just want to let you know I'm a big fan of what you do. It's just like the
talking to the
guy or whatever.
people.
Yeah. It's just like the breakfast guy. You're like, I love what you're doing here. You're like,
honestly, yeah, that would be
that.
me.
Hey, breakfast is good.
But that's like that kind of positivity. It's life is weird and hard, and there's a lot of ups and downs. So if you could put that amount of positivity into the world, that's such a cool thing. And then if Dan Aykroyd's standing beside you, it's even better.
Yes.
Right?
No, insane. And it's just weird to know them. It's weird to just think about it and be like, oh yeah, I want Mr. Dan, and I'm like, whoa. It's weird, but there's
Hello, I'm gonna start calling him Mr. Dan. That's fun.
Mr. Dan.
Have you ever seen?
It's really crazy.
Have you ever seen The Great Outdoors with Dan Aykroyd and John Candy?
I haven't. I'm like a really big Letterboxd person, so now I got to put that on my Letterboxd.
Oh yeah,
watch list.
that's a list.
It's a good one.
Yeah,
it's
Letterboxd is great, also, by the way.
Yeah, The Great Outdoors. It's
I'm obsessed.
Classic 80s
vacation cabin. You've got little cute raccoons talking. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's good. Good stuff. Now for
little
the next
raccoons talking.
Oh, they have subtitles. I don't want to make you think this is like Narnia. It's a little different.
It's a little
but
different.
It's a really funny movie. I think you'll like it.
I think for the next 10 minutes we should just recommend movies. No, let's McKenna, do you have?
I'm so down.
Are you watching anything? Have you seen any movies or anything lately, or TV shows that you're like, hey, you have to be watching this?
I just watched so I had spine surgery, and I'm opening my Letterboxd to see what I've been watching.
That's good. You got to keep track. It's good.
All I watched was movies while I was I watched 25 films in November and 22 in October, I think. And I was really proud of myself.
That's impressive.
For that.
That's amazing. If I had spine surgery, I wouldn't do anything ever. I would just be.
That's all I did was just sit in my room and watch movies all day because, there was nothing else I could do.
Right.
But I just watched La La Land and 500 Days of Summer and stuff. So those were really good.
Mm-hmm.
And I just watched the Voices with Ryan. I went on like a little Ryan Reynolds movie night.
Voices is
I watched The Voices, and that was kind of crazy, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Like,
I haven't seen that one.
I know the.
I'm watching some of Love, Death, Robots right now. I think
cool.
that show.
That show's great.
Mm-hmm.
And I just watched The Menu.
Oh yeah, Jake, you
it was good. Mm-hmm.
I really enjoyed it. I thought that it was good. It was pretty funny. Yeah, I went to the theaters and saw that with my dad, and I was pleasantly surprised. I was like, this didn't go how I thought it was going to, and I thought that was like great.
That's refreshing too. Yeah.
I'm always interested in the perspective of like, an actor when they're watching, you still want to be immersed in it, but like, do you ever find yourself when you're watching a movie, like let your mind go down? Like, I wonder how they did this. I wonder what their approach was here. Like, I'm sure that is like a great thing, but also could be like, come on, McKenna, just watch the movie. Just watch it.
Mm-hmm. A friend of mine did The Revenant, and I just recently watched that. And the entire time I was watching him, and I was like, that must have been so horrible to be shooting it, because it's like, that there's like a crew behind the camera, like all wrapped up in like their coats and everything. And then I'm just watching my friend like wade around in this ice water. And I'm like, that must have been horrible. And that's all I can think about watching it, is I'm like, oh, that must have been so like gross to be stuck in that all day. But I love like thinking about how it's made. That's one of my favorite things about like getting to work in this, and then getting to know actors who I'm big fans of their films, is like getting to get like the inside scoop. I'm like, how was it shooting this? How did you shoot this scene? It's so exciting.
I love that.
I feel like I would be like, I'd watch a movie, and it's like, if one of your friends is in the movie, I'd call them after and be like, not the choice I would have made. Just mess with them.
That's great.
Yeah, you're like, wow, some really interesting choices there. You don't even say,
great line reading.
Right. Now, was that was that the first take, or were you guys like on a tight schedule that day?
That's so bad.
Just messing with people.
I like can't imagine what I would do if like somebody like called me and did that. I'd be like,
it'd be devastating.
I know. I would like be heartbroken. I would be like,
no.
I don't know.
Yeah. Well, we're going to be wrapping up here in just a minute, but McKenna, we always ask people this because we're big toy collectors and action figure collectors and things like that. Do you collect anything? Do you have like, when you're out and about and you go to like, you're in a new town, a new city, are you out looking for anything to add to the shelf or not? Really?
My mom hates me for it because she's like a very organized, clean person, and I'm a super like, I like to have clutter and chaos, but it's
look at our house,
knickknacks, tiny things.
Oh my god, I love knickknacks here. You know what? Now I gotta like move my computer. I'm a big like Polaroid person.
Oh yes,
and then I have like.
I'm loving the room
bunch
aesthetic.
Of posters,
Yes.
Romeo and Juliet.
That's a good movie.
That's my little.
I like this tour.
Thank you for this tour.
Yeah, that's my little clutter shelf where I have a can of Spam from a Walmart in Florida. I have a Taylor Swift candle. I have like a Slimer I made that my dog ate that says Jan's room. I pulled it off the door of like one of my characters' bedrooms.
That's so cool. I love
all sorts of jazz up there, it's fun. I'm a big collector. And then I have my record collection right there. I have an ungodly amount of stuffed animals. I like to collect skeleton, like little, I have like not actual skeletons, but like these type of things that you get around.
Yeah.
I love that.
Those. I think that's really fun.
That's great.
Yeah, you have great taste in collecting, and the fact that you understand the love of having a little memento from that day or that thing that you can look at later.
And I love to collect and like steal little things from set. It's really bad. I actually brought these out for our podcast today because I thought that it'd be fun to show you guys. I took my glasses.
You did it. That's so cool.
Wow.
Oh, distinguished.
They're actually like a little small now.
Oh my gosh.
Right.
It's crazy. I haven't put these on in ages, but I feel like they're a little small now.
That's it.
That's amazing.
That's good.
Now this is the official first look at Phoebe in Afterlife.
Yes.
That's the name of that's the podcast
Afterlife
title.
too,
Official first look.
First look. Yeah. What will be the clickbait title for this? McKenna Grace reveals new glasses from Afterlife. Oh
no!
Oh good heavens!
I think
y'all are gonna get me in trouble with Jason.
Well, I think the clickbait. Yeah, the clickbait for this episode is McKenna reveals that Jason ruined her back in Afterlife.
No,
they didn't. I swear, I was born like this.
Yeah. Gil Keenan replaces Jason Reitman as director due to lack of care for the actor.
Oh gosh, you guys, y'all are too much.
Hey, let me ask you real quick, 2 questions and we'll be done. So Gil Keenan is going to direct the next one. Is that's interesting, right? Like, I mean, I'm sure you've met Gil and you know him and he was the writer and everything, but like working with a new director, same character, like have you thought about that at all? I'm gonna guess the answer is no.
Yeah, I mean, I can't say much, but
right.
I think that Gil will be an incredible director.
Yeah,
I think that I know Gil. He's great. I mean, I've known him since the other Ghostbusters. I think that he's gonna do. I'm really excited to see what he does with the film.
Yeah.
You know, I think it'll be really cool.
Yeah,
it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great.
Yeah.
Well, listen, I think we've had some fun. We've covered some ground. Where can we see you next? I know that you just had your the Friend of the Family series. Is it wrapped up? Is that's done? It's aired?
Yeah.
I got to catch up on that one.
Just a limited series since it's a true crime
right.
It's really dark, but
it's really dark, and it had a lot of hype. Like people, even just regular, like even like my parents knew about that one. So like they're
really
yeah. So
congrats on that.
Thank you.
Then
I don't use a lot of social media, so I never have like a real scope of like who knows about
like
what I'm doing or like or what's
right.
going on or how my shows are doing because I don't. I don't know. I try not to read reviews though. Since I've gotten Letterboxd, I'm a fiend. I love reading the reviews because they're so funny. But
well, user reviews are there's nothing worse than a user review, like especially on like Rotten Tomatoes. It'll be like 3 stars. Did not like this one. Not very good. Could be better. Like that's not a review of a movie.
And I'm like, oh.
And then you have a new song coming out, correct? Like next week?
I do. Oh my god, I think that it's coming out in like a week or 2. I believe I just shot the music video.
Oh, nice.
Very cool.
I did just shoot the music video. I have a little prop from it stolen. I have like 3 props from it stolen. I'm such a little like hack rat. I just love to you're
gonna like go down to your garage, like here's the Ecto 1 I took from the Afterlife set. And,
it's actually like I have all of my Afterlife things. All of my Afterlife things are in the next room. Like I have this whole little shelf. I have a ghost trap. Oh, hold on. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Okay, we'll wait.
All right.
She's going to show us the ghost trap she stole.
Do we plug Patreon or something? What do we do now?
Dude.
I think her Slimer back there means Slimer's confirmed. Whoa, there it is.
Slimer is confirmed. Oh, nice.
Oh, look at that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Nice.
And I think that I'm good for a second for the podcasting. Don't worry. I don't have like a hard out.
Okay. So. Yeah. We just want to be respectful of your time.
I'm chilling.
Yeah, totally.
My whole thing is that I have a friend who's driving in from like 2 hours out. And then I thought we were just going to talk to plan out what we were doing. But instead we stayed on the phone until like 4 a.m. So he just didn't wake up this morning when he was supposed to leave to come over. So I'm like Sounds good like for a second now. But
we've mastered how to be adults.
Yes.
You sleep in. We don't have families. We buy toys and action figures.
Dinner at like 2 a.m.
Yeah, it's great. It's great.
Honestly,
that's great.
That trap's amazing.
Sounds nice. Yeah, it's so cool. It was like, and it's like heavy duty. I wish that it opened, but it doesn't. But whenever you flip the switch, it does turn on.
Oh, cool.
That's
and it's like,
so cool.
It's actually like not my mom hears me like talking about all my little Ghostbusters things, and then she just went into the other room. I have like a oh my gosh.
I love this show and tell.
Yes,
I have like
surprise.
Sigourney Weaver signed.
She's
sick.
That's a hard kid.
That's a hard.
I'm a hardcore fan, and I'm like a little collector guy. It's
love
bad.
that.
I mean, I love whenever somebody asks me if I have collections because I do. I'm crazy. I have like, oh God, not my mom bringing all this in. There's the cereal.
Got the cereal.
Nice.
I have just the cereal. There's a high C cooler. Like I have all the things. I'm a freak. I'm a fiend. I just love to collect things, especially whenever it comes to Ghostbusters.
Gosh, I'm surprised. I thought you were gonna, because Abby, you're a big collector of calico critters. I didn't know. Do you know about calico critters?
I love calico critters.
Dude, girlfriend, I am a huge calico
No,
critter.
I have
yes.
billion
Like
of them.
This is the house, like right here. I got for my birthday. I'm gonna open that up. Like I am. Oh
no way.
yeah, totally. Same page with cute
My
little
mom
creatures.
hated whenever I went through, like
Your
I
face.
say went through because I was forced to stop because those things are so expensive.
I know.
Crazy.
What is the deal? They're hard to find and they're so
Calico
expensive. I know.
She's like, oh God, not
I know. I was like, I'm
those.
gonna get a cabin and fill it full of calico critters.
Yeah.
You also have a dog named Gizmo, don't you?
Yep, Gremlins.
Great. Yeah, we've got a cat named Gizmo, among other cats that we have.
Hey, did you know here? Speaking of Destiny, do you know that Gremlins and Ghostbusters was released on the same day in 1984?
Hey,
Isn't that
maybe
wild?
Wow.
I decided today that if you know any like Ghostbusters like sequel questions came up, that I was just gonna start making up things.
Do it. Give us fake news.
That's what we do.
That's
I
exactly
really
what we
need
do.
to start making things up. Like I feel like that would be the funniest thing ever.
Yeah.
Is if somebody's like, "What can you tell us?" And I'm like, "Well, you know, we may or may not be like doing a really big crossover. I can't say much, but
yeah.
there will be velociraptors in the next film." You know, like, I think that would be great. I feel like every time I get like a question about the next film, I'm just gonna make something
Just make something.
absurd.
That's amazing.
I mean, we can
Yeah.
real quick.
That's what Dan Aykroyd did for 30 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I thought making it a musical. was an odd
McKenna,
choice.
you don't know.
You do not
There
know.
is 20 years of archives of Dan talking about the next Ghostbusters movie, and we've been following this thing forever. So the fact that it exists, just like crazy.
Like when the
Absolutely
news,
crazy.
when the actual news broke about Afterlife, we were all like, "Nope, it's just Dan talking about." Because he's for years, Dan would be like, "Yep, we're starting filming next summer," and it's like, "What?" And it never happened. Yeah, for years.
He is. That's the funniest thing ever. I actually love that. Of course he is. That's like,
Yeah.
that's amazing. Yeah, I'm
Absolutely.
gonna start doing that. Anytime I get asked spoilers about anything that I'm in, I'm just gonna make up like the most absurd story.
Yeah.
I thought you were about to tell us that you were going to be in the new Gremlins movie. When
Yeah, let's do that. Yeah,
no,
you should do that.
that's the
we
thing.
can start
is
the rumor
actually-
right now.
Yeah.
Well, 'cause, like-
actually, there's gonna be a new Gremlins film.
Oh, nice, nice.
And I'm gonna be playing Phoebe in that. Like, we're not
Okay,
doing it
cool.
for-
Gizmo's
we're not
daughter.
doing
Wait.
it for
Phoebe Spangler or Phoebe Cates? Because now I'm mixing up my.
Phoebe
Like-
Spangler.
You feel,
So,
okay.
like, the thing is, we're not actually doing a new Ghostbusters film. We're doing a Gremlins film, except like with Phoebe Spangler.
Okay,
So it's
and-
like a weird sort of like crossover universe. So there's ghosts,
Right.
but then there's Gremlins. You know, can I just like make this really elaborate?
Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
If-
Any
Absolutely.
proton packs for the Gremlins?
If you could just give us a nice line delivery real quick, no pressure, but I would love to hear you say, "Why didn't you tell me Gizmo from Gremlins was my grandfather?" I would really like to hear that. Shh, shh, shh.
Why didn't you tell me that Gizmo from Gremlins was my grandfather?
Yes.
I've
Interview
been
done.
lying through my entire life.
Yes.
Is
Wow.
that like,
Yes.
Well,
is that
stay
like
tuned.
my
literally.
awards moment?
Gremlins
Yeah.
Afterlife.
YHS gets the serious interviews.
Yes.
Afterlife.
Fake news. Yes.
Yeah,
McKenna,
I've
this
made
is-
up my mind.
this
I've
has
made
been
up my
so
mind.
much
This
fun.
is
Thank you
forever.
so much.
This has been
Thank
fun.
you so much. I'm
We-
so excited, and
we
now I've
appreciate
made
you
up my
being here.
mind forever. I'm just gonna start making things up whenever. So whenever
Yeah.
little news articles are starting to come out about like some
Mhm.
absurd stuff that I've
Oh,
like
they-
said, that I've,
Yeah, right.
McKenna Grace confirms that like Meryl Streep is in the new Ghostbusters. Like, that's gonna
Whoa.
be-
She is. And Harrison Ford. It's going to be so crazy.
Oh, it
Yeah,
took place
I
in
honestly,
1908.
Yeah.
I really can't wait. It's gonna be crazy whenever like Leonardo DiCaprio holds a proton pack. I think it'll be really exciting.
Yeah, your friend from The Revenant, Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah.
Perfect. Maybe you'll finally win some.
Yeah.
I can't deal. This is incredible.
Yes. Well, listen.
Yeah, we appreciate you so much.
Have a wonderful holiday. Have a wonderful Christmas. Congratulations on everything. I'm so happy that you're recovering and like you're in good spirits with your surgery.
Yeah, and you're making music and kicking ass, and that's great.
Yeah, and what we'll do is down the road, when the new movie comes out, or anytime you want to come hang, and we do a live stream on Tuesday nights called Toy Anxiety, where we just talk about toys and action figures. And I do not want to subject you to that crowd. But
Please.
If you,
I love that. Okay. I'm always down.
They're fun. Yeah,
it's fun. I don't have anything else. McKenna, thank you very much, and we will see you around the block on the new Gremlins Afterlife.
Yeah,
appreciate it.
I'll see y'all.
The Legacy sequel.
I'll see y'all whenever Gremlins Afterlife comes out. Can't wait.
Yeah. It's gonna be good. It's the only weird part is that Gizmo's like 8 feet tall now. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's
like,
but he's not. You know how they like turn into gremlins and then they're super tall? Oh my gosh, my phone's going off. Sorry, but they like get really tall, except now it's like they're fuzzy and really tall.
Huge, tall.
It's the studio telling you to stop talking about the new Gremlins movie.
yes.
Yeah. I think that Jason's texting me right now. I think
All right, McKenna, we will see you down the road. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you guys. This was so much fun. Have a good one.
Yeah, have a warm and merry holiday season.
So long, y'all.
Bye.
Have a happy holidays.
Bye.
Bye.